Thank you for your attention.
Поезд с сообщением Каменск-Уральский, Yekaterinburg прибывает на 11-й.
Okay, so we're just about to board our second train on the Trans-Siberian Railway. This one is going from Yekaterinburg to Irkutsk. I think it's about 54 hours. 54 hours on the train. Now we're much more well prepared for this one than we were the first one. We've stocked up on food and we've got our comfiest clothes on and we're about to board. Okay, so not normally something that we do, but we've got a porter for 200 rubles. Okay, so our train is just pulling up. We decided to get a porter to take our luggage from the car park, and he's going to put it on the train for us. Now we thought it was 200 rubles, but it's actually 200 rubles per bag. So he's got 3 bags, 600 rubles, 6 quid for him to take all our gear onto the train. It's not too bad, but we did get tricked a little bit. Ready to go, Shah? Ready to board. So when the train stops, they have to take that opportunity to clear all the ice from underneath the train that's been collecting. And it seems like a bit of a task. Okay, so I'm going to show you how long the train is. Ready? Okay, so once again we're on a second class carriage. It's much the same as the last one. It doesn't seem like there's many people. I guess a lot of people just got off here. Less than an hour in and I'm hungry. I saw these in the shop and I was very excited because we used to have these in Australia and New Zealand. And there was only 4 packets left in the whole store. So I grabbed them because I know that they are actually vegan. So we're about 5 hours into our journey now from Yekaterinburg to Irkutsk, and spent most of the time looking out the window. After the sun goes down, there's nothing really to look at outside, so I've just been putting some videos together on the computer. Aside from that, I plan to try and get to sleep early because we're going to go forward a couple of hours. So I'm going to try and get a head start on the jet lag. So in just over 2 weeks, this will be our 4th time zone change. So we are having to strategize and try and figure out how to deal with that. So we just found out that on this train, our ticket entitles us to 1 meal in the restaurant. So we'll take a little wander up to the restaurant cart tomorrow. We've been booked in for 5 p.m. And that means that we get to eat more of our snacks. Now, I'm interested to see what the food is like in the restaurant. We weren't really planning on it. It was going to be a last resort for us. But since we have a free meal included in the ticket, why not? Let's just do it. Yeah. Okay, so I've just woken up on the train and we're in a town called Trans-Siberian, and it seems like a lot of people have got off. Okay, so we've just stopped briefly in Novosibirsk and it's proper snowing here. All is going pretty well. We played some card games last night with our cabin mates and that was good fun. We taught them how to play Ghost Blitz. If you're wondering how I slept last night, it wasn't the greatest sleep. We actually went forward a couple of hours. So that meant when I woke up at like 9:30, it was actually 11:30. I'm not sure if we're traveling through any more time zones, but I think I'm going to try and get to sleep a little earlier tonight. Got another 30 hours to go, I think. Cold porridge and banana. Organic porridge. I think we're going to be adding 1 cooked banana to the mix. Yeah, so it's breakfast time on the Trans-Siberian and I'm having myself some peanut butter on bread. Right, so there's no showers on the train, so you have to make the most and be creative. You can either stay clean or you can stay dirty. But I think the cabin mates will appreciate it if you give yourself a wash every now and then. We did have a little moment of fear as we were given a little box of goodies, biscuit, bread and water. And that was about 45 minutes ago, so we thought that that was going to be our entire dinner, but he's just come back, the provodnitsa, and he has given us some rice and vegetables. So now for the taste test. And just as an update, so if you book your ticket with a meal included, they actually bring it to your carriage rather than you go into the restaurant. So we're not having a hot day tonight, unfortunately. Sorry, Charlotte, I did put a nice shirt on and everything. But no, not tonight. Maybe when we get to Irkutsk. Well, that's all done. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so we're going further into East Siberia now. I've got a quick half-an-hour stop at this train station, and people generally take this as an opportunity to go to these little huts here. There's another one here, and they get some supplies, get some food, and then jump back on the train for the next leg of the journey. But we're pretty well stocked up. I don't need to get anything, so I'm just getting some fresh air. It's about 7 o'clock at night, so I'll be tucking into bed shortly. And then that'll be it for another day. Okay, so we're about 8 hours away from Irkutsk. Slept until about lunchtime today. After a couple of beers in the restaurant last night with a new friend I made, or a couple of new friends. I met an Australian and a couple of Russians. Last night's sleep wasn't that great, but it was a long period of broken sleep. So I sleep for like half an hour, wake up, sleep, wake up, sleep. And I think that's pretty much how most people sleep on the train after speaking to some others. You just wake up a lot, and that's usually by the force of the train like shunting and like doing big jolts that wake you up, or it could be people snoring, or it could also be the sound of another freight train flying past your head and a couple of meters away in the middle of the night. So yeah, it's not a great place to get some sleep, but the good thing is that you can sleep whenever you want, because your bed is your seat, and there's not much else to do apart from just look out the window and enjoy the view. And right now we've got some beautiful traditional Siberian villages that we're going past. Killing some time before we get off in about 5 hours. I think I might go back to the restaurant soon. I found last night that they have PowerPoints, and it seemed that as long as I bought something, he didn't mind me sitting there working on my laptop. It's noodle time. So, if you take on the Trans-Siberian Railway, chances are you're going to find yourself with a big old cup and a pack of noodles. First things first, break them in half. And they go Then we need to fish out the flavourings. So it's a bit of a mission to do this on a moving train. Now I know this is not the most healthiest option. You have to be careful because the train is moving. Get a good stance, hold your cup and turn it on. Really need to adopt the power pose here if you're going to be safe about this. Now don't fill your cup up too much because she'll spill everywhere. Okay, so this part of the Trans-Siberian for me has been the most beautiful. As we're coming from Yekaterinburg to Irkutsk, the final day of travelling is probably the prettiest because it's just full of like loads of snow-covered houses, and we're sort of like passing over lakes and then looking out into the deep, deep snow. You can see little like footprints of like animals that have been scurrying around through the night. You can see all the little footprints on the snow. It's a beautiful winter wonderland out there, and I'm really looking forward to getting to Irkutsk and exploring, and then getting to Baikal and seeing the frozen lake. Okay, this is a very special moment on the Trans-Siberian. I feel like this is what it's all about. We've just been resting in our room and look outside, and it's an amazing sunset. Okay, so we're finally coming to the end of our 54-hour-long journey from Yekaterinburg to Irkutsk.
I did feel a long time ago that we boarded this train, so I'd be very happy to get to our hotel and explore our next stop. We have 5 whole days because this train we're getting next only ran once a week.
I feel like now we are learning a lot more about this train travel experience, and we've got a lot of tips, and all of that will come, thank you, in the next video. So the next one will be Irkutsk to Harbin, China, and we'll be very well prepared for that, I assure you. See you then.